I'm living like this. 1,000%. Caught the reverse of the dip. I had to take me a risk. That's why I'm living like this.
Yo, 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 what's good with it, Pack fam? It's your boy, Mr. Check My Resume, man. We about to get into it tonight. Tonight, 0-day expiration class. We about to get into some tickers, talk about my process and method for identifying potential trades for these 0 days, as we call them. And then also we'll get to go through everyone's tickers. So, once we get started, please go ahead and drop in the tickers you want us to, or you want me to review. I'll, kind of go through a scan and look for some setups, that I particularly look at as well. And yeah, we'll craft out a certain list of tickers that we'll be potentially looking at for tomorrow. And as I always do, I try to provide a disclaimer, for those, especially for those that are new traders, new to the game, still trying to pick up the fundamentals and kind of learn the basics of, what to do and those types of things. I'd advise you, to just really sit back and listen, understand the thought process, and yeah, ask questions. Now, I will qualify that and say that this class is dedicated to 0-day expiration trades. We are not looking at like long-term swings or long setups. We're looking for trades for tomorrow. So please direct your questions in that manner. This is one of those classes where we're looking at more of those traders who are more familiar with the process and kind of have better understanding of the basics and just ready to rock and roll. So for those of you that are new to the strat, don't quite understand what we're doing here, or see it as very risky to take these trades, it's okay. There's no obligation for you to jump into these trades. This is an opportunity for you to sit back and learn and see how someone else kind of goes about this process. So with that, we're gonna get right into it. One of the things that I like to share is that I like to identify setups for these 0 days off the 4-hour time frame, as well as the day, but primarily on the 4-hour. Because of that, I like to also like run a scan of inside 4-hour setups, because I like the way those inside setup triggers have played out over the course of the last year and a half or so. So it's been something that we've been consistently taking advantage of. And so we typically go through that as well. But we also want to identify tickers that, have been performing well. We're looking for those that are essentially in continuation. I mean, if you track the type of trades that I, put out there a lot of times, I'm looking for reversal type of trades, off of Brogdon formations and things of that nature, because I'm looking for reversals mainly. However, with these 0-day trades, I'm really looking for continuation plays that are in continuity, things that essentially, in layman's terms, I'm just trying to get on the moving train. I'm not trying to get anything that needs to reverse up from going down, so to speak. So I just want to get something that, maybe consolidated, but it's been moving in force and moving up. And, I'm not planning to be in there for a long time. I just want to be in there for a good time. So that's the idea. That's the thought process. I'm typically looking at a trade that I can stay in a couple hours, maybe the first, traded, the morning trading session of the day. And if they really show up and perform well, then maybe we can take them through the entire day. But generally speaking, a lot of times we can take those trades and be done with the trades very quickly. A lot of times we don't have to be in those trades very long. And a lot of people in the pack are usually done pretty quick for the day off these 0-day moves. So with that, let's get into it. Let's not waste no more time. And for those that don't know me, I'm Mr. Check My Resume, 1/5 of the leadership here in the pack. And so been here since day one, just been grinding, chopping wood and carrying water, as my OGs would say. Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Paid in Full, my guy. All right, so Feel free to go ahead and start dropping your tickers in the chat. We will get to each and every one of those tickers. So definitely let's do that. First off, like I mentioned before, we're going to get into a little scan here to see if we can aggregate some tickers and see what's out there for us right now. So again, like I mentioned, we're going to do these 4-hour inside 4-hour scan, and we are going to see what that gives us. So let's see here. We got a couple tickers here we are familiar with. I can see ChargePoint, RCL on here. Let's take a look. So what we got here on ChargePoint? It's like we got continuity up to the quarter time frame. Looks like we came in contact with a BF in the morning session, pulled back and closed out as an inside hammer on the 4-hour. That looks, we got stopped right here, closed like right up under there, right at that broadening formation. So that would be the one thing that you kind of want to be mindful for, but you do have a lot of continuity on this thing right here. Looks strong, looks like the broadening formation did not, or just that price level where the broadening formation is, did not have a lot of selling going on there. So that's a good sign. Looks like on the morning breakouts when those orders got gobbled up. So we'll put an alert there and see what the contracts look like later on. So we got an entry level of 1535 on ChargePoint. By it being a smaller price stock, your alert level should be closer. There's no set number that you should have it at. But that's the first one right there, and that is ChargePoint. So let's keep it going. RCL, looks like it had a good day today. 8.45% on the day. Out of nowhere, it seems, huh? So yeah, RCL looks very good. Looks like they found something down here, this monthly broadening formation. I don't have the recent weekly on there, but looks like that's the only one I'm missing right now. So we do have a nice looking inside 4-hour candle here. We had the gap up from yesterday. Lets us know buyers, buyers are present. We'll see if that sustains. We do have continuity up to the quarter, which is good to see as well. So yeah, we'll put a trigger down for this one as well and evaluate the contracts and see how it stacks up against some of the other potential trades we're looking at for tomorrow. And with this one here, you see there's a lot of room up to the next BF level, but if I were to, I didn't know. So if I were to draw a BF right here, it would give you a more realistic, week. So boom, now I have my most recent broadening formation for the weekly time frame. So that gives you a little bit more of a realistic level. I would just go and see if there's other broadening formations that have not been drawn. I got to go back and evaluate, because I don't know either. But yeah, I'm not seeing too much. So yeah, rather than waste time trying to find them all, I'll just kind of look to see later on this evening when you're going through your due diligence process. So yeah, looks like so, all right. Anyway, let's keep it moving. RCL, it looks solid, and I'm looking for broad information, and I ain't seeing them, so that's interesting. I gotta keep looking. It's got to be something. All right. Next one. Let's take a look at Enphase, ENPH. Typically with Enphase, the delta theta ratio on this one is typically very poor. So you really need to be convicted about taking this on a zero trade just by virtue of you're not going to have the Greeks on your side. So there's going to be a situation where if you get a pullback or you get sideways movement for any length of time, you're just going to bleed out essentially. And that goes for a lot of tickers, you know, those like Tesla, some of those that don't have really good delta theta ratios, they're just going to bleed you out if they go sideways during the day. Or if you get one pullback or one reversal signal down, it's going to, you know, affect you in a significant way. So just be mindful of that. But Enphase does have a trigger right here. It went crazy today. So yeah, or this week, I should say, sorry. So yeah, just Enphase, what's your level for entry here? 274, 71. I'll put that down. As you can see, it went crazy, you know, last 2 days. So that's the idea. You just want to get something that's already been going. If it gives you a signal to enter, then you take advantage of it. It's just these contracts on this thing are usually not the most impressive in terms of the Greeks. So just be mindful of that. Enphase. All right. We got right. I'm gonna leave that one alone. We got Ford. See what Bronco talking about. Man, Ford used to be that mug that would pay so well on a Friday. The contracts are so cheap, so when they move, the multiples just hit you very quickly. So here on Ford, got inside 212 potential above $14.01. The idea here would try to take this one back to the $14.28, $14.30 level, which I would imagine on the Ford contracts would be pretty good. I'll be looking at Ford. I might just throw something in there because they're so cheap. Just throw a little something at it. $14.01 to $13.99. All right. It's getting in broad information territory, so we just want to take it to that level. Not be too tricky with it. We got that at what that crypto looking like. AHT. Look at that. It's an $8.78 on the underlying price. So just be mindful of that if you're gonna take it. But I will give you your levels real quick, and you would get a 212 on the 4 hour above 878. And so that's right where closing price was. So yeah. AHT, again, I try to stay away from them on 0 days because of the price, but the setup looks fire and then it's been moving. So, you know, so we're just looking for continuation tomorrow, which is one of the criteria that I like. All right, let's check out Spirit. Let's see what's going on with Spirit and Save. Oh my God. Yeah, I know I had Spirit on one of my watch lists. I don't remember which one it was, but this one here looks solid. Outside week this week, just breakout day to day. That was clean. Off the chain move on save. Now we gotta look and see what I have it on there. I think that was 2-1-1-3 double inside week on save. Yeah. All right. So pimping, limping. Sheesh. Yeah. I like that. It's got a micro BF right there at trigger. So we can deal with that. That don't scare me off. 25, 65. Two, 1, 2. So that is save. Did I give y'all levels on save or not? That went to the zone. But yeah, you got the 212 entry above 25.67 on save. It gets past this BF. I would need to chart some more just to make sure I'm catching them all. But I think this one looks solid. I gotta find out what the other BFs are before I, feel any type of way about it. But yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Looks real good. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Keep your eye on field cell. NCLH. Man, that thing. Whew. I just want to take a look at the chart real quick. That thing been dropping, dropping, dropping. But look at the continuity though. So that's so interesting because of this week is the continuity has been sitting green. But we got a 2-down week currently. Yeah, it's choppy. Even though it gives like a good looking setup, overall it's choppy. But for tomorrow's move, there could be some potential. Outside day to day, so that was good to see. They got up out of there, and we got a Chicago setup on the 4-hour. So we're looking at a 312 on the 4-hour above $12.11. Like that. A continuation on the day. So that'll be interesting to see how that opens up tomorrow. Because how it opens up will be a big deal about something like that. I don't have a lot of fundamental information to support it. Just looks good on the technicals. So keep rolling down the list. Yeah, we don't go through every list of the ticker because there's some that we automatically know. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. My bad. So CCL, Man, CCL at $9. Wow. Just to actually see it on the chart, like, wow. You just get a short down to that major BF and you would have been set. As it hit the top of that BF in June of last year. It's been coming down ever since. That's beautiful. That's why broad formations are beautiful. So anyway, for that reason, I really don't like this one really to the upside. I mean, you might be able to get a little move on it above, what is this level? 212, above $9.11. Just because it's low doesn't mean it's going to go up. It could go lower, as Boss Gang would say. So, but we'll put the trigger. I actually want to look at the contracts, see what the prices are on those. And I also wanted to point out, man, these are 0-day expiration trades that we're looking at. These are not lottos. Lottos constitute, that means you don't know what the hell you're doing. We don't do lottos in the pack. We take calculated moves. You know, just wanted to point that out to the 70 folks on the call right now. You have a little more conviction in what we're doing. There ain't no lottos being thrown around here. I'm trying to kill that terminology all the way. What else? Got to coordinate. All right. FUBO, $2.55. Good Lord. Nice looking setup here on the 4-hour, but I'm not gonna take it. There is a trade though above 255 trigger. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But yeah, we got a 212 on the 4-hour above $2.55 on a FUBO. Excuse me. Yeah, FUBO.
Bless you.
Thank you. FUBO looking weak. Vastly weak. Space weak. Kodak. Yeah, we're not doing that. Let's take a look at. Let's get a little oily. You know how we do. We love us some oil now. Nobody do it like this. Oily boys and gals. All right, we got Hess. So we'll be looking at energy and how that is looking pre-market tomorrow. But this thing could gap. It could be up tomorrow. You don't even have a chance to get in. But that's always the issue with energy a lot of times. The gap definitely. But this one is a nice setup. 202 on the 4-hour. And that's above 109.54. It has you're just gonna have to check to see if there's contracts, if there's people at the party. That would be my concern with that one. Other than that, everything else is legit. Company and all that stuff. Set up where it's at price wise. All right, let's get into it. I see these boys. Yeah, I know Sin and Nerd, y'all have both put in Boeing. So yeah, we see Boeing. I'm just gonna send positive vibrations. I like Boeing here. Has a nice setup. There we go. All right. Damn, inside everywhere. That's what y'all doing over here, Boeing? Okay. So Boeing, we got a few triggers. Let's break it down here. So man, I gotta watch what words I say here. So let's take a look at the lower time frame in the 4-hour. We have a Chicago setup here above 159.60. That's I mean, obviously initial target is today's high. Next target looks like on the 4-hour is 162.74, but today's high was 160.10. So that ain't gonna be enough meat on that bone. So you'll be looking for a next target. Maybe the daily high 162.74, maybe. But anyway, we got a Chicago setup here on the day above 160.10. So you got a second trigger on the next time frame up. And 8. Okay, now the week, we got a 2-1-2 setup above. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. We've got a we just get 2 up on the week at 163.34. That's not a lot on Boeing. I mean, so it could happen. It's not out the realm of possibility, but it would need to be a bullish day on SPY and all that good stuff for it to happen. So Boeing does have good setups here. So let's keep your eye out on Boeing. This one looks solid. That inside day looks strong. They broke through the BF before the end of the day, so that's always a great sign for continuation the next day. I like the way it closed. So yeah, Boeing's one to keep on your watch. No bias from me on Boeing. Boeing looks good. Continuity, everything. Now you know if I say Boeing look good, you know what I'm saying, look good. I don't, historically, me and Boeing not friends. I'm an objective person. Okay. We're gonna take a look at John Deere, then we're gonna go through the chat here and see what tickers we got in here. And then we'll finish up with whatever's left on the list. John Deere, 2 up on the week. Looks like we're getting a nice reversal happening. Look at that. Look at that setting up into next week. What we got next week, next month? What we got? New month candles. What's gonna happen? We're gonna get a bing bong. Nice reversal, or so we hope. So that's what one more week of bullishness would do. Would send a lot of these tickers as well as sectors into monthly reversal territory. If not, some of them actually reversing like this one, which would be something I would anticipate on John Deere. So the setup for tomorrow on John Deere. All right, here we go. 2-1-2 on the 4-hour above 331.79. And this one is part of the 0-day alumni. We have hit this one for a significant trade. I don't know if it made the 1,000% club, but it definitely made the 700%. Actually, John Deere might be one of our trade breakdowns that we used to do last year. Well, FICO used to do. All right, so yeah, we're gonna get into the chat. Let's see what the chat got. All right, let's start from the top here. See what's happening. Okay, Neo and Baba. What's up, Sin? What's the deal? Well, we just looked at BA, so we'll take a look at Neo right now. No wick, no wick. Neo just hugging that broad formation, ain't it? Look at that hammer. That looks too good. Well, this is the outside day. Ooh. Okay. Range is expanding. Huh. Interesting here. This thing has just been in the range. That's interesting. Okay. Let's take a look. That one intrigues me. Let's set a trigger on Neo. Looking at, we get a break tomorrow. Above, what is this, 1950. But I got some other levels too. I'm looking at. Let me write these. Let me get this out the way first. Also, the high from the day was 1955. I would be looking for this thing to get over 1974. Then we're cooking with grease. And so that's what I'll be looking for on Neo. So first target or pivot would be the high from Monday. And then if it got past that, we're looking at around 20 bucks, and we'll see after that. I mean, it's some good room. I just have to check BFs, and I don't have all the BFs on there. But setup looks fire. Sitting on top of a volume shelf. There seems to be a volume gap right there. So yeah, there's a lot that plays into this one. Okay. I like it. I like it. They say Neo tricky sometimes. Yeah, can be. That's good, bro. It's my guy. It's my guy right there. Yeah. All right, bro. Let's take a look at this coke. Cocaine. Some of that bam bam. Coke going 2 up tomorrow. Continuation. It's going 2 up tomorrow. The question will be, what is it going to do when it gets to this broadening formation? I think I might have a level 6460 is when it begins to get into that broadening formation. So yeah, I just see the afternoon candle as a TTO. All right, yeah, cool. That's money in the bank. No entries, just all in force. All right, look at that X. Man, that X been going since the alert. I mean, two straight days now. Looks like it's going for a third. Again, here we go, another monthly setup. Maybe we're getting a rev on materials. XME. Every time it hits this BF, it seems like it gets a little bounce off of it. Or what we say, price don't bounce, it reverses. Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's like we're getting a little reversal right there off these macro broadening formations. So if you look back, if you look bite, you see how these things respect the hell out of the quarter. The quarterly time frame is what X is respecting. So all the quarterly BFs you should be mindful of with X. Not to say the other ones won't affect it in some way, but these are the ones that it's showing the most respect to. You know how you got the one parent that the kids listen to, and then the other parent that they just be like whatever. Yeah, that's what's going on here. X is respecting the quarterly level broadening formations. So if you get time and you're confident in the direction it's going, you can just play it from level to level, bottom of the range to the top of the range. Anyway, moving on. Signal on X is 2172. That's actually nice price action off these broad formations. Sheesh. Oh, it's my bad. So let's keep going in the chat. Netflix. I already talked about Ford and excuse me. Inside 4-hour candle on Netflix. Looks like we had a TTO. What was that? Yes, day before yesterday. Earnings, I guess, held it up. So yeah, we got a Chicago. I know I like Netflix. Netflix definitely was one of our 0-day breakdowns. Had a trigger machine gun back in the day, early days of the pack. So we smacked this one for like 780, 770% on 0-day. Some of these we feel confident if they do what we want them to do, they'll take care of us. So just gotta be precise in our process. All right. 312 on the 4-hour above 226.25 on Netflix. Take a look at plug. Well, damn. Yep. So plug strong A day to day. So this one, I mean, this is easy to see. We're looking for a continuation on the day. See if we can push it up to that broadening formation at like around 23 bucks. We've got inside 4-hour, looking at the 212. And that's about $21.70. That should look good. That look good right there. That's barbecue chicken. Oh, that Bruce. Yeah, that's barbecue chicken, Bruce. We got Target, 10, BBN, CCJ. Okay. Take a look. I know Target, a lot of people are looking at. Excuse me. Loud in here. So you got an inside 4-hour candle. Looks like price tried to push back up in the afternoon candle after that initial pull back. Looks like we've got entry on the 4 above 160.03. My expectation is that you'll get continuation tomorrow. It doesn't look as though there will be any other signals. So either you take this trigger or you're gonna have to look for an intraday trigger tomorrow. I'm gonna set it just so that I can keep an eye on it. So if anybody knows me with Trigger and FICO, that's the Friday special right there. So when she gives you good looking setups, you gotta respect it. So you got 10. It's 10, is Claymore? Yeah. So yeah, that 10 look good, like that look. You got the gap ups. 212 on the 4-hour. Let's see if price holds up. We'll see what contracts are there as well. 110. So I'm gonna set a trigger. I don't Man, maybe have I ever played 10? Maybe once. I don't know. Maybe it was probably when I was in one of them groups. I mean, yeah, 10 looks solid. Off the gap up, buyer should still be there. Then we got DV in. Man, y'all coming with heaters today. DVN is going, looks like it's going 2 up tomorrow. We got to see if anything gaps up or gaps down. That's going to really like be the deciding factor because a lot of stuff are giving good looking setups, but it'll really be a function of what gaps up, gaps down, or if we just stay flat throughout the night. That'll give us an indication of kind of what needs to happen. Now, me, honestly, I don't mind the market gapping down. I like when it does that because the weak ones gonna stay down and the strong ones will come up as they should. So I don't even be tripping off the gap down. And so, and I'm not in any 0-day positions. So you know, so I can take advantage of the gap down. I ain't tripping. So Devin, DVN, look at that continuity. I would be inclined to think that this thing is going to go forward tomorrow, go 2 up on the day, would be my original thought process. So I'll be looking for entry above 60.55. So as you set these triggers, we're just aggregating information. We're not making decisions right now. We're just aggregating data. Then from this point, we got to go and evaluate and synthesize the data. We got to make determinations based on this, you know, information that we're bringing in. So this is just a step in the process. You know, a lot of us who already have broad information built in, you kind of get already ahead of the game as it relates to the next steps in the process, because understanding where your broad information sit is a step in the process as well. And then, you know, I always like to have people go and analyze their return on investment. What's the expected entry amount versus what's the expected return on the trade if it hits targets and things of that nature. So there should be like a built out process for you as you go through each trade, and so it shouldn't just be based on just the setup. And it can work sometimes, but it's not consistent. I'd advise you to take other factors into account as well. That's how you can know what to play and what to stay away from. 559. Okay, ULCC. This CCJ though, that looks fire. 312 4 hour. We got entry above 25.59, so 25.60 will be your level. Just be looking for 2 up on the day at 25.75. And then I'd be aiming for this. I don't know if it'll do all this in one day, but you don't have any macro brown informations to that 2640, 2630 something level. But you do have micros below that level. So you may want to just draw some of your micros to see where you could potentially get held up at and maybe target a trade based upon those lower DFs. If you just want to secure a win. But yeah, this one looks solid. And it shouldn't have to go far tomorrow to pay you out well. So just see if there's contracts, people at the party. So WDC Western Digital. Oh man, I used to work with them. I didn't know them. I didn't work there, but I worked with the company before. So yeah, Western Digital. Looks solid, man. Nice hammer on the inside day. Looking at a 312 on the 312 on the day above 48.74. And then also we've got 2-up continuation on the 4-hour. So this one looks like it's going 2-up tomorrow. I don't have many doubts about that. So we got the Chicago set up. I have no idea how the contracts look. I don't believe I've ever played any options on this ticker before. But the setup looks fire. I mean, I like the way the setup looks. I'll set a level for it. $48.74. Not sure if I'll play it because I don't know the company or enough about it. But so what do we got here? Oh, Valerie, for 0-day trade, should we do daily broad formations along with the larger time frames? You really got to eyeball it and see. Like for example, there was one we were looking at earlier. Don't remember the ticker, but it had a nice gap between the major broad formations that I had. So in my thought process, I'd be inclined to look on the lower time frames to find other broad formations that may intersect in that path, because I'm like, man, if that's truly what it is and there's no broadening formations in this area, that really makes that trade appealing to me. So I have to go and confirm that I'm really seeing what I'm seeing. So yeah, you can drop down to those lower time frames if for these 0 days. But I will say a lot of times you don't even have to, because the macros will be in relative, like they'll be relative, proximity to the underlying price a lot of times. So you can sometimes target the trades to those macro DFs. So that's a thought process, and you got to make that determination. But if I see, I don't even want to attach a percentage to it. But if I see enough of a gap between where current price is and the next macro broad information, yeah, I'm gonna go search for some smaller ones and things of that nature to see where it could potentially get held up at. And I'm like, nah, this ain't real. I'm kind of thinking like that. Like, maybe make sure. So yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Airlines. So what do airlines do today? It's outside day on AAL. Just had a whole hum day. Did crossover point of control in the afternoon. So closed strongly the 4-hour. Hammer. We've got entry on the 4-hour for, what is this? Is this Chicago? Yep. Chicago set up on the 4-hour above $13.77. It's actually a penny away from that target right now for the 4-hour. And you can essentially take that to the first pivot here, which is $14.04. We have to put that on the analyze tab and see how much of that'll pay you. But yeah, AAL looks like one that could take advantage of for a short move. I'm not sure if I want to take it up to like this broad information level. I would want to see if there's other broad informations in the way before I made that determination. So I'll be looking for that first pivot to secure me like a win, but if I was to take that. But yeah, you got the entry, the setup is there. Macros are looking good. Continuity is looking good all the way up to the year. So you got an opportunity. We got to see how things open up. So this is United Airlines. Looks good for next week play, but it's There's no entry. There's no entry for tomorrow unless you wait intraday. You have to get an intraday entry on that. And I would say the same thing for that Delta. Look for an intraday entry. Outside day, 2 up on the 4, 2 down hammer on the week. So it's also looking good for a next week swing or a next week entry. But yeah, not there's no setup. Did we already talk about Neo? Yeah, we did. We did. Yeah, we set a trigger on Neo, 312 on the 4 hour above $19.50. It's just been going, it was going flat and then kind of trending downward. It's just been kind of just hovering at broad information on the week. So really looking forward to break a couple levels onto the upside. Before I get too super happy with it. What we got here? AMC. Let me see. AMC. We do have an inside 4 hour. It's not showing as much strength as some of the other things we've looked at. Looks like we're 2 down on the week as well. Hold on. Yeah, we're 2 down on the week. So right now for AMC, I wouldn't be looking for an upside move. I'd just be chilling out on it. If I wanted the upside move, I just look for something else. Right now, I don't know. I mean, it could go either way. It could go 2 down tomorrow. Or stay up and go inside, you know. So it's one that I'll just kind of leave alone. You got BBBY's, Bed Bath Beyond. This one doesn't have any entries on it right now. Looks like it's at a very low level, however. $4.84. So I think if you were thinking in terms of taking any 0 days, I would just want to look and see, are there people at the party? Meaning, are there contracts, open entries? Are there people there? And then 2, what other setups are in your that you're looking at? Because I don't know. I mean, this one right here looks like continuation, so you need to find an intraday entry. But at the price level, these you want to get like a BF day and below because they're going to respect those BFs on a lower time frame. So, this one here, $5.07 would be a hell of a move. So that would be my ultimate target for a trade like this. It is bullish. It's giving you a bullish signal on the micros. So you just got a micro macro battle. You're green up to the day and red the weekend up. So just got a little war going on. Buyers and sellers is fighting. What we got next here? Mara. Here on Mara, we got a 212 on the 4 hour. We also got an inside week. Got over this BF level here. And yeah, this one looks solid. Looking for a 212 on the 4 above 1335. So yeah, that one can go. I would, look at the first pivot as potential target 1372. That should give you a nice move on those contracts. Ultimately, maybe you could get to the 1389 or 1392 level. But yeah, that one looks solid. I think you want to see that trigger. You want to see how it opens up because this one here, I mean, it looks bullish. Looks like we claimed the broad information. And now it had to kind of retest it. And so now it looks like it wants to go. So I like it. It may be something you want to look at longer as well, because I think there's room for it to run, but we'll see. I don't know. I haven't been tracking crypto like that, so that's another thing. So, how these things play out with crypto, so you never know. maybe one of my crypto people. Insight. All right, what is this? AG First Majestic. First Majestic. Oh, silver. All right. Inside 4-hour hammer. 212 on the 4 above $7.47. Looks solid. You could take it back to like 756, somewhere in that range. Whether you're playing commons or options. Not sure if there's option contracts or even if there's, I don't know if they do contracts or not. But the ticker looks solid. It's like she's trying to move up, trying to break trend and move upwards. JELU. All right, yeah, y'all coming with the tickets I ain't never heard of. JBLU inside 4-hour. We got an entry on the 4 above $8.39. And we also got an outside day. And what we talk about them outside day bounces. We got outside day on the day and an outside day reversal correction. But you got these reversals on the outside days on these 3 downs. They reverse back up. Use very bullish movement within the candle. So you try to really identify opportunities to take those trades within the body of that candle as it's moving up. Typically, I like to target the top of these 3s or the top of that broadening formation off those 3s as an exit for a trade like this off of the outside day. KMI. Back-to-back outside mornings. So Chicago set up on KMI. Entry would be above $18.06. You know how we feel about energy. We're 2 up on the day, even though it was red. We are looking for that continuation to happen. We will have continuation above 18.18. And if you look at the month candle, we are currently inside with a hammer off of a monthly BF. So we're looking for a Chicago 312 back to the upside on KMI going into next month. So a couple different setups there. KMI. This is tax. All right. What is this? TJX. We're looking for a 212 on the 4-hour above $61.26. We are currently 2 down on the week, 2 up on the day, and outside on the month. We got a lot going on and a lot of chop. We do have a gap above today's high. So I see what you're trying to get at. Our gap closes at 62.94, or actually, I'm sorry. 62.94. And then, I guess the day, there's another low for just today, and that's 62.74. So anyway, TJX, interesting, but there is some conflict. So I'd be mindful of that and what type of trade you're looking to take, and would you be trading into conflict, that type of thing. Chewy. So Chewy bouncing off the weekly level broadening formation right here. Looking like Chewy closed with a hammer on the 4, 2 down week, 2 down day, inside 4s, looking for an entry above 39.20. You got 2 down hammer off the broadening formation, rev on the day, rev strat 39.60. Chewy looks intriguing. And so yeah, Chewy does look intriguing right here. it's just not showing like the strength that you would want to see when it bouncing off the broadening formation. It's just staying up and then pulling back, staying up and pulling back. But it's got a gap to fill all the way back to 41.54. So if Chewy wants to do what they want to do, then we got potential for a big one for a nice size trade. I don't know if Nikki on the call, she tried to get me. All right. All right. Okay. All right. J&J. Looks like J&J's reversing back to the downside on the 4 hour. On the day, looks like we're going back into indecision range. Inside week makes sense. Inside month makes sense. So yeah, we are chopping. Looks like on J&J. Looks like here, looks like we got a 322 potential back to the downside. Looks like that is below the level of 174.14 for an entry on J&J to the downside. That looks clean. I wonder what broad information is right here. Or is it this one? It might be this 4 hour. Could be it. But yeah, that looks interesting as well. So J&J to the downside, 322. EMY. Let's take a look. Bristol Myers. We got a similar looking setup. J&J. We got movement up. Then we hit a high and reversing back to the downside. So we're also looking for a rev strat 22 rev to the downside below $74.51. We were 2 up on the day in red, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. We are 2 down on the week in green, and we're bouncing off a broadening formation. Even if tomorrow is bearish, it could be ultimately bullish for next week. So yeah, that is BMY. So Abby Vi. Next to him, Abby Vi, similar deal. Looks like they're all doing the same thing. Outside day, we did have price shoot up. However, we hit highs. Looks like on this one, we hit point of control and then reversed back to the downside. But again, we got the 4 hour outside bar right there. So I think it hit a BF and got rejected pretty strongly. So that's what we're looking at on Abby. So that entry for the 322 rev to the downside, entry level would be below 148.68. So just so you all are aware of that one as well. KHC, 2 up on the floor, 2 up on the day, 2 down on the week, trying to get back to that broader formation level and fill its gap. I think KHC is going to be bullish till it gets back to its gap fill area. But yeah, that's exactly what KHC is doing. But there are no triggers for entry at this point, so you need to look intraday to find the entry to get in that trade. TGT, we talked about the inside 4 hour setup on it, and we're looking for continuation tomorrow on target. So yeah, our expectation that it will go 2 up tomorrow. The big thing, like I've been saying repeatedly, is like we got to see how we open up tomorrow. So some of these triggers we may gap up over, or if something overnight, they may gap us down. And if they gap us down, we're going to rip probably the whole day. But I don't think we're going to gap down at all, honestly. Do I consider full time frame continuity for the 0 days, or is it just 4 hours? Full time frame continuity is definitely a part of it. I think I use full time frame continuity, and my broadening formations are a little different than probably the the strat in Moss, and probably us in the pack probably do ours in a way that we can anticipate. But like I mentioned in the beginning of the call, I'm looking for continuation plays, not so much plays that are in conflict or need to reverse back to the upside. I'm looking for those that are moving in for us, that are already going, and we're looking for consolidation to move back in continuity. So that's the idea. Now, every Thursday night, it's not going to give you those setups per se. In this case tonight, it looks like there's a fair many of them that do. So we'll take this as an aggregation of data. These aren't like trades we've decided on yet. We're going to aggregate the data, and we got to go do our part as traders and go and evaluate the information. We got to throw our broad informations on there, and we've got to go evaluate the return on investment on each of these potential trades that you take on your list. And then from that, you can share, or you can say, hey, this is what I'm looking at. But until then, that's kind of like how the process goes. And because it's a 0 day, we know exactly what we're looking for. So it's easier to kind of expedite this process, and not through using scanners, but the whole idea of, full time frame continuity is at the core of the 0 day, but you don't always get that per se. The better the continuity, the better I feel about it. All right, Caterpillar. Caterpillar looked just like John Deere to me. You never know in these 0 days. Sometimes it'll be cat, sometimes it'll be deer, and they both will go, but this one will go berserk and the other one will kind of just go normal trade, normal price action. So yeah, so this one here, I guess I'll start with the 4 hour and then go from there. But we got some potentials on this one. Looks like it's decided to reverse. But we got Caterpillar here with a 212 potential on the 4 hour. We're looking at an entry above 188.19. AMC, we looked at A-Lizard. Ford, Lisa, we looked at as well. We saw Ford as a potential one to take as well. Ford looked good. Just to glance at it. But yeah, we closed above that BF on Ford and got up, looks like potentially we could get up and try to test this BF. AMC, we were not as favorable on to the upside. It was one of those trades where I felt like it could potentially reverse back down, but it's like in that I don't know zone for me. So I'm inclined to kind of leave it alone if I was to look at other potential trades to take for tomorrow. It's just a little too much conflict in comparison to some of the other. A Lizard, KR, Nike. So you can see KR is just under a broader formation. It's 2 up on the 4. I'm not really inclined to take a trade on this one for tomorrow. It's 2 up on the day, but again, hit the BF and got a little rejection. So I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna let it be. I'm not gonna touch it. And then you got all this conflict here on the macros and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm good. There's no need to force it. Let's go AMD. Before we do AMD, we'll do Nike. Nike looks better than KR. Just do it. Nike looks good. Looks like it's going to continue tomorrow. The challenge here is that you got a broad information in the way. So, you need to find an intraday entry on this one because there are no setups. Looking at us right now on this one. So you just need to, kind of monitor it and then look for an intraday entry to take that trade. And it looks like continuation, and it looks like it's going to come in contact with that broad information, which could, slow up the movement of price. So that's just something to be mindful of. But yeah, AMD looks good, and AMD's been slicing through them BFs all week. So, sorry, Nike's been moving all week. So I feel like, hey, after the drop Tuesday, it's kind of been doing this thing. So if we get bullishness on SPY and all that good stuff, then yeah, that's what I expect. It's all about how we open tomorrow, man. Eddie, AMD, let's take a look. We talked about this one earlier today. AMD continuation, strong price action. Buyers are present. They are there. Looks like they're gonna keep buying it. Looks like our next area to look for would be $95. AMD likes that $100 level, so we'll see if it gets there or not. But yeah, AMD looks good, continuation, but there's no setups to get in again on this one. You need to look for an intraday entry tomorrow, but the expectation is that it will go up tomorrow. My mind. Just need to find that setup. This is continuation. MU will probably have a similar story to it as AMD would, but looks like MU actually has an entry on a couple of time frames. So I see that 2 down week hammer. That's an opportunity right there as well. And then you got the month 322 potential on the month back to the upside. So that's nice to see as well. Now looking over here at MU on the day, looks like we are kind of going back and forth with this broad information here. Looking at 212 on the day above 62.30. And we are looking at a 212 on the 4 hour above 62.28. So you got both of these trigger points at, basically the same price level. I do not have BFs above it, so I need to go back and look and see what's there. But I can see maybe there might be one or two that I, haven't drawn recently. But yeah, MU looks like there's a couple trigger points. We are 2 down on the week, so there's a lot of swing potential for this one. Our chip's gonna keep going. Oh shit. Moaz, AMC finna squeeze it. Oh shit. I'm out my league on that one. Oh man. Okay. 2 up, 2 up, 2 up, 4 hour, 2 up day. XOM, similar deal. Some of these others we looked at. Enforce, moving to the upside. Got a setup for a reversal going into next month. But if you want to trade it tomorrow, you're going to need to find an intraday entry. There are no setups right now. This one's moving in force. Roblox. Roblox, similar deal. 2 up on the 4 hour in the day, outside on the week, 2 up on the month. Continuity is there. Looks beautiful in that sense, but you're gonna need to find an intraday entry tomorrow. That one doesn't have a setup for you. That's all. Moving on, HD Eddie. Home Depot, 2 up on the day. I expect it potentially to go 2 up again tomorrow. Not sure what we're looking at. I need to go evaluate some more broad information on this one in particular. But we do have a 2 down week, so we are fighting in conflict. But there is the potential for this one to go 2 up on the day tomorrow. But yeah, looking at the Chicago, Entry to the upside would be above 301.14, and to the downside below 297.87. So that's HD. Keep your eye on that one. Last three, Palantir. Palantir looks strong, looks good. Inside week, 2 up on the day. 4-hour inside hammer 212 above $10.13 would be your entry point. First pivot. Actually, first pivot may be at $10.20 may be an okay move. But you want to see if you can push up to like the 1023 level, 1025. Let's keep it going. Yeah, this one looks solid. Palantir could go stronger than that. I mean, it has that potential. Let's give you a conservative estimate. Oh man, this McDonald. Look at this big run. Big run been up out of there. But yeah, big runs, 2 up on the month. Outside week, big candle. Big bread this week, 2 up on the day. We strong. Like Gucci Man say strong. Okay. Hit a high of 264 today. We looking for nothing but continuation to happen tomorrow. So you just need to find a TTO and enter, find an intraday entry to get on that moving train. McDonald's looks fire. It is fire. That's barbecue chicken all day. The problem is, setup. Sometimes that happens. And if you want it bad enough, you're just gonna have to monitor it in the morning, find the TTO. All right, look at this. Starbucks went all the way to the bottom of the BF levels that it had. So now Starbucks, as you can see, it's revving. It's showing the buyers are there. They like it at 60. They liked it down there in the 60s and all that. So it's continuation on the 4-hour and the day. The week is in for us. The month is in for us. I mean, Starbucks gonna keep going. You gotta find an intraday entry if you're gonna trade this tomorrow. There ain't no setup for you. How do I find entry and continuation? Eddie, after they open, you're gonna have to find a setup, like in real time during the trading session. If you want to trade any of these that don't have setups, so you're gonna have to monitor the trade, let them open, monitor the trades, and then from there you're gonna have to identify stuff on the smaller time frames, and then take those entries. And so that's why it's imperative that you take trades on tickers that are already moving in force, that are like in continuation basically, and not something that needs to turn around and reverse back up, or a reverse period, because you don't want to have to get into a difficult trade. You just want to get in something that's already moving, but you got, not in the sense of like trying to get these 30-second trades, but in the sense of like trying to get a move for a few hours on something that has continuity in force. Macros are good. You got some real stuff behind you that makes you feel comfortable sitting in. And so that's the key. You have to find an intraday. I mean, we'll be on the call tomorrow, so we'll be looking at stuff in real time. But yeah, I mean, depending on when you decide to get in, you can wait on the first, couple 15-minute candles, wait on a couple of those, see if something goes down and reverses back up and stuff like that. But yeah, you got to find that intraday entry. So you got to look for a combination on a time frame, a lower time frame, and take an entry when it breaks. It's just a function of when your time. If you wait, if you let them open for 30 minutes to an hour or something like that, you may have more data to trade off of. But that's why we have this list. So you got to be convicted. You got to just know, like, all right, I'm taking this no matter what. I'm going to take this type of, I'm going to look on this time frame. I'm going to find an entry here. I'm going to monitor it here, and I'm going to exit there. Like, you just have to map it out if that's what you're going to do. Yeah, Charles, we already looked at Neo, but we saw Neo. Looks like it's been. But yeah, Eddie, that would be my process. But honestly, I would just look for something that already has a clean setup if I was in your position. I wouldn't be trying to find out intradays. Yeah, so this is Neo. Neo just looks flat. We're just looking for a break on Neo. But we did set an alert for it. Look, there's an entry level above $19.50 on that Neo. But yeah, looks like we covered a fair amount of tickers. I don't think there was much else that we did it. So I'm gonna keep it moving and let y'all get the rest of y'all evening back. Looks like we got plenty to work off of, and yeah, look like we missing much. There's a few other oil tickers that we could have looked at, but there's some stuff I'll take a look at too as well. But I'm gonna let y'all have it. Y'all have a great evening. We put in about 90 good minutes, well, close to 90 minutes. And so I think we got a good idea of tickers. Go in, draw your BFs, put it on the analyze tab. You know, I'll throw my watch list out there later. And we're gonna smack them tomorrow as we always do. So with that, y'all have a great evening. Peace, family.